on to story time r/relationship advice. That was a watery, sad burp.
It's stuck.
That was pathetic.
It's stuck.
That was
now my tummy's growling.
You tripped and fell at the starting line. No.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
You set that one to delay.
It was a timed explosion. Story time from our favorite place, our relationship advice, where relationships go to die.
We love giving advice on things that we're not qualified to give advice on.
Is anyone qualified to give relationship advice? I don't even think a relationship therapist is qualified to
I've
give.
been told that I'm qualified. So I
By
give that.
who?
By the internet at large. They are trustworthy when they're correct.
I don't think so that you know that.
Well, I'm going to try my best anyways. And if we're wrong, then these people in particular.
So be it. Hello. I'm Nick.
I'm Corey. My mic is shitty. Welcome back to That's
Just
Debatable.
like you.
Welcome back to That's Debatable. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys like hearing us talk about stuff that is relevant to you in every aspect of your life, you're going to love watching it early access on our Patreon. Link down below.
Yeah, check out the Patreon. You can see the full, uncut, uncensored version in advance.
Early access. And if you don't have time for all that because you're commuting or whatever, go listen to us. We have that on Audible or Apple Music or wherever the hell. Spotify. Links to that are down below.
Let me start this one up.
All right.
Oh, this one is fucking barbaric. The title of the post is, how the hell do I, 34 female, recover from my husband, 35 male, attacking my appearance during an ugly argument? Okay.
People
doesn't sound that
attack
bad.
each other all the time. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah.
Hanukkah? Did you have to have the...
Yeah.
You have to...
Yeah. You
The Heimlich maneuver?
extra on the 8th day.
Heisenberg?
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
How are you?
I'm very... good.
All good in the hood.
Fucking idiot. Okay, so winter is here and my husband and I are having serious disagreements about the thermostat. Oh no. This one could...
This is what you need relationship advice on?
Listen, there's 3 things you discuss before you get married. Do you want kids? I don't know the second one, but what do we keep the thermostat at?
There's a million reasons to talk about something before getting married. You're like, kids?
Are you cool with butt plug?
That's
Something like
about
that.
it. I
don't
think
know.
everything else will figure itself out.
I don't
Also, thermostat.
Yeah, thermostat is crucial, dude. If I have a roommate who is warm-blooded. He said the lowest he wants the thermostat on, AC-wise, in the summer, is 76. And I said...
That's just demonic.
Yeah, so we agreed on 72, which is still not a good temperature, but...
72 is fine. It's passable.
72 is okay, but most of the time it was 74, which was like the compromise point, which is ass.
No, that was like my ex. Whenever I go over to her place, her and her roommate both liked it hot, so we would sleep at 78.
And you know what they both have in common? Asian blood, dude.
I could not
Asian
sleep
blood is
there.
hot. I'm telling you.
I think that year I lost out on sleep quality.
Yeah, my blood could never, dude. If I go to Florida, my skin burns. It's like a demon in a Catholic church or something.
I would
It's
just
like holding up a cross. I'm in a halava, and you go.
It's one of these things that every night I would just stare at the ceiling trying to do like Wim Hof, like ice breathing, but thinking that maybe it'll cool me off. Like a monk being like, I'm not actually hot. I'm calm.
I'm in a tundra. No, that doesn't work. I remember it was, Corey and I went to a set of schools. Do you remember being in the old building in middle school?
Dude, I've repressed everything in middle school.
Dude, the building had no AC, so my get out of being hot was to sleep. I would sleep in class and it would cool me off and I'd wake up sweaty.
I don't know if the math is mathing. You'd sleep to cool off?
Maybe it's just because I didn't want to be awake there. So I just slept and I thought it would cool me off. Okay, anyways, back to the story.
Yes.
I like to keep the house warm around 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which is disgusting.
At least they're admitting it.
Because I get cold really easily. He works from home and says it's too suffocating for him, even at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. He's always hot and insists he can't focus on his work if the heat is blasting. I get that, but our space heater broke last week. And his solution? Telling me to wear a sweater or jacket in our own house.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh no, how could you ask someone to wear a sweater and dress warmer?
Wait, the space heater broke?
Yeah, the space heater broke. So she can't heat her isolated area separately from the rest of the environment.
Oh.
So I refused because honestly, I should be comfortable in my own home. I asked him to open windows. We've been going back and forth for over a week now. Every time I turn up the thermostat, he turns it back down. Yesterday, things escalated. I walked into the living room to find that he'd put a digital clock on a thermostat.
He locked her out like a child.
I couldn't believe he'd gone that far without even talking to me. When I confronted him, we got into a huge fight. I told him he was being selfish and controlling, that I'm tired of being cold all the time. He shot back and that I just need to suck it up.
This is the pot calling the kettle stupid. She's doing the same
Yeah, they're kind of arguing.
How dare you change the thermostat without my permission, even though I did that to you earlier?
The solution here is simply that you turn it up, he opens the window, or you turn it down, you buy a new space heater.
Here's my opinion on this, is that being too hot trumps being too cold. You can't do anything about being too hot.
Yeah.
If you're too cold, you can put on layers.
Okay, there is a too cold. Because I remember
there is a too cold.
And I remember it being legitimately 58 degrees in my room. And I was sitting at my computer trying to work or do anything.
Yeah.
And my hands were too numb to type.
No, I agree there is a too cold, but I think that is well below what a comfortable person should be. Like if it is 50 something, you need to turn it up.
Yeah.
But if it's like 69, it's not too cold.
Yeah.
So just deal with it.
Yeah. And then when it's heat, there's only so much you can take off.
Yeah.
Even if I'm ass naked and I'm wet.
That's why I'm saying that you cannot do anything about heat after a certain point. So heat trumps cold.
Florida. I walked into the living room to find that he put a digital clock on the thermostat. Okay. So their argument escalated.
Yeah. It was, how dare you be selfish about choosing your temperature? I want to be comfortable in my house, even though you're uncomfortable when I'm comfortable.
So this escalates much worse for honestly, I don't know what was done to deserve this. Then he said something I can't get out of my head. He told me fat bodies are supposed to keep warm better. So why are you always complaining about the cold? So that was the opening of the can. This is the opening of the storm.
I think this is the last straw kind of thing he said.
Oh no.
That man snapped.
The next thing he says is the last straw.
Uh-oh.
So she says,
how did it get worse from there?
You wait for it. I felt my heart break. He chooses to attack my self-esteem where it hurt the most, even though he knows how conscious I am of my weight. FYI. I had our daughter just a few months ago and I haven't really bounced back.
I know this is sad. It's a horrible situation, but the way she wrote that is like, you've activated my trump card, not my self-esteem attack.
You've hurt me at the part where I'm the weakest. It was a critical hit.
I can't believe he attacked me where I have my weakest spot.
You've eviscerated me.
Oh no, my one weakness.
I was never really model-esque, but was okay looking. I feel huge because I am huge. I'm sorry, that's just so funny to read.
I could listen to this writer write a novel about toilet paper. Their writing is hilarious.
I have confided in him, and he has always reassured me and comforted me, only to turn it back on me and be extra cruel. It was honestly so unnecessarily cruel. I was so hurt over his comment, I asked him why he'd say something like that to his wife, but I wasn't prepared for what he said next.
Ooh, it gets
this
more.
is honestly one of the most barbaric things I've ever read.
Uh-oh.
You'd be a lot easier to swallow if you're at least physically attractive. But when you're ugly inside and outside, I don't even want to be gentle with you. Feel free to take this personally. Man said, backhanded, and then went, and
feel free to take this personally?
Yes, dude. As if there's a way to not. Hey, you're fat, ugly, and you're ugly on the inside too. You can take it personally.
It's like, hey, by the way, that was an impersonal business conversation. Once we get off the clock, we're good. It's like, what do you mean? Don't feel free to take it personally.
I think you crossed the major line of that comment, but was I being too sensitive? I've been crying thinking about this. I feel devastated.
I think they're both being nut jobs about the thermostat situation. They're equally stupid. However, he crossed a bit of a line.
Yeah, I think that's something you can't fall back on.
No.
You said something like if you call someone ugly inside and outside and then you remind them, you can take this personally if you'd like. That's saying you've been thinking about this, you delivered it, you have no shame in what you just said, there's no guilt, and the nuke that was just sent, you said, you know what, let's send a second.
I can see the inner vision of them saying that and be satisfied.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Let me put a picture together.
Let's go,
it's like I've been in situations like this where I imagine saying like the wittiest clap back and everyone clapped and I'm just feeling so satisfied that I got one. No, but like on someone who's an acquaintance or a stranger, valid. Fuck them. Fuck them in their entire bloodline.
Damn, what do they do to earn it?
Couldn't care less.
And their bloodline?
What do they do? They existed in my space.
And your retort is genocide?
In my main character energy, it bothered me. And they deserve it.
And you're the anime character that's like, you've You shouldn't have done this. You pull your sword out.
Yeah.
I'm going to slay you and your kin.
It's a you'll regret this kind of thing.
You'll regret doing this to someone so powerful. Growls.
Here's the thing. That all ends when it comes into people in your life. Why would you marry someone who you think is ugly on the outside and the inside?
What if they become?
You shouldn't be married to someone.
Yeah.
If you think they're ugly on the inside and the outside.
People change. They rot.
People can change.
Inside and outside.
So, divorce. Divorce!
Okay. Very, very good.
I think it's a valid thing to do.
That's barbaric.
Oh, yeah. No, it seems like they were not a very happy couple up until that point.
What's my relationship advice? You buy a space heater or a window, and then you, I don't know, if you want to stay in the relationship, you ask them, why would you say something this hurtful?
I would say she could lose a few pounds. About 180 from that guy.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Kill him?
Well, I mean, losing it any kind of way, burn it off. About 400 degrees, 3 hours.
That should do it.
Yeah.
How do you fit in the oven, though?
Braised, chopped, mashed. Well, all right, yeah.
I don't know what relationship advice I'd give this.
My advice is genuinely, if someone says that, the relationship is done. There's no more advice to give.
Do you think there's something that someone could say to you that's so horrible that you'd just be like, okay, it's over?
That? You're ugly on the inside and outside, and no one could swallow you, metaphorically speaking, but also physically. You taste like terrible. What is the upside?
Feel free to take this personally.
By the way, you clap ass like a champ. That's the only redeeming factor.
Clap ass?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
What do you think it means?
I'm literally imagining somebody clapping their ass.
Good. Like, that's exactly what I intended.
You clap ass like a champ?
Yeah.
Does that mean like they pound your ass well? They clap their cheeks well? You're
asking the right questions. I don't have the answers.
This is useless. I don't like where we are. All right, hit me with your garbage.
All right. He learned the grass isn't greener. Now what? 35 female dating 40 male.
Okay.
He
cheated on her with a younger woman, right? That's.
Did you have a stroke? What did you say?
That was my guess based on the title.
All I heard is he cheated on
her with a younger woman.
What did you say? A few weeks ago, my boyfriend broke up with me out of the blue. It was I can't do this right now, but it might work in the future reason. And was a breakup. Not a break, but we agreed the door wasn't closed. 7 days later, I reached out and asked if he wanted to join me at tennis, which he quickly agreed to, even asked me to get a drink after, where he said we should start hanging out again. A few days later, we officially got back together. So we were broken up for a total of 11 days.
Wow.
Since then, I've learned that during those 11 days, he hooked up with his neighbor and even took her on a weekend trip with his family.
What the fuck?
Weekend trip with your family is pretty serious.
Wait, they're 40?
He's 40, she's 35.
He took her with the weekend trip to...
He took her on a weekend trip with Nana? What the f***?
With his kids, probably. Does he have kids?
I don't know. Probably not if he's this kind of stupid
40
person.
is an age where you can talk about your family as like the family that made you or the family you made.
Yeah.
There should be terms for those types of families. Are there?
I don't know. I don't think so.
The summoned and the summoners.
I don't know if I would take someone like
the
I don't know that well.
And the created.
Well,
the seed and the what's the not seed?
We call it your spawn or your spawn zone.
No. What would you if you had seed being your kids? What are you to your parents?
Tree.
They're your tree.
I don't know. Plant.
Pollinating wasps. No, they don't do that.
I want to move on.
Corey's been stunned. I can tell when I make Corey go that I've activated.
Just screen pollinating wasps out into the abyss. In those 11 days, he hooked up with his neighbor and even took her on a weekend trip with his family. The worst part is that she and I have casual relationship, so I know her. We've all hung out together and it's a very social neighborhood, so I'm going to see her a lot. He came right back to me and says he's all in on me, us, but while he technically didn't cheat, he had an emotional and physical connection with someone else. I've always been so secure with this relationship, and he's never given me a reason to not trust him. But now I can't trust when he's home alone since she lives downstairs.
Oh, they probably live in the same apartment building or something?
Yeah. I'm so grossed out and never want to go to his place again because of it. We were at this point where marriage was in the near future, so it feels like he had to get something out of his system or see if the grass is greener elsewhere. So, I mean, I get it, but I'm really struggling with this. Any advice? Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you nailed it. You broke up for 11 days, and in that time, he someone and took them on a trip.
I mean, okay, so if they were questioning their relationship, and then they broke it up, and they both agreed to break up but leave the door open, and then the trip part is sus, but I personally think what he did was,
I think it's icky.
While it wasn't good, it was like they broke up to test something else. Because if they said they were talking about marriage, that means like in most cases
they were at that point.
In most cases, marriage. I would say probably 99% of the time, marriage is closed, right? People.
The default setting is closed.
Yeah, the default setting is closed. You have to opt into opening it.
You have to change. You have to open settings and change that.
And then you have to sign contracts from both sides.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's complicated.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Usually it doesn't work out.
Yeah, in most cases, you default to saying you're a monogamous relationship that's closed, and people could get cold feet for that. So I think, and if they were having doubts and like qualms,
he wasn't
about
100% in on it. He's like, I
and then
wonder
they
what
broke
it's
up,
like with someone else.
and he tasted the neighbor's grass.
Yeah, which is to me, what's weird about this is that they've been together for a long time.
How long did they say?
It doesn't say, but if marriage is on the table, unless they're crazy, it's been at least a year. You don't get married to someone under a year unless like you are
green card.
Unless you have ulterior
Ding
motives.
dong.
It's either you have ulterior motives or you are just shit insane. Getting married under a year, you don't know this person.
Yeah.
So it has to at least be a year that they've known each other and they've been dating. So there was no prior situation. The fact that within 11 days, he fucked his neighbor and took her on a trip with his family, whether it's kids or
Maybe
his
they were
parents.
like friends already, like family friends.
Well, the girl here says that they did know each other. They have a casual relationship. So yeah, they do know each other.
You think this is bad?
I think it's bad. It's most likely bad. There's a small chance that it's not and it just looks really, really bad. But even then, it's still bad.
I don't think it looks really, really bad. I think looks really, really bad is they didn't agree to break up. They were together. He cheats on her and says, hey, baby, I want you. I want only you.
I think that
they broke up. You have to break up together. Like one person might want to break up more, but you have to break up together to officially break. No, you don't.
I think the fake out breakup is just as bad as cheating. I think saying
fake out breakup?
Yeah, I think if you break up with just to someone like literally that day or weekend or whatever it is, you have it planned. And then you want to go back.
I mean, what if you have doubts and it's the constant like, what if ruminating in his mind, just echoing like, what about that neighbor's ass? What about it? What does it taste?
I don't know.
Like?
Maybe I'm like weird about this. Honestly, if I was worried about that, if I had like a what if situation, generally I would tell the person I'm with.
What would you say?
I would be like, I have second doubts. I don't know why.
You wouldn't say, hey, Missy next door is looking kind of thick and I've been...
That's the thing that makes it...
I've been eyeing her up.
It leans way more into the icky. I think if he genuinely was feeling like weird about it, he just didn't know if she was the one and they broke up and then he thought they were completely broken up. He then talked to his neighbor. Maybe she came on to him. Happenstance, they that week. He was like, oh, maybe this could work. I take her on a trip with my family. It falls apart. His family roasts the out of her. It's terrible. And then he's like kind of left to his own devices. Apparently the girl here reached out to him that week.
Yeah.
And he was like, honestly, yeah, I think that what we had was better than what I thought. I'm down to try again. That is the one situation which this works out. However, how it reads is that he broke up to get with this girl because it was way too fast.
What was her closing statement?
We are at the point of marriage, so it feels like he had to get something out of his system.
And then she asked, like, what's your advice?
I'm struggling with this. Any advice? The way this reads, in my opinion, is that if you break up with someone and then that same week you have sex with someone that you know, it feels like you intended it.
Yeah. It feels like you wanted to cheat and you didn't cheat, but it was like a contractual.
And if you never got back together, honestly, that part by itself is fine. If you break up and you get with someone else and you were planning on doing it, but you have no intention of going back to your previous relationship, I think it's fine.
This is really tough because every relationship is completely different.
Yeah.
So like if he was constantly doubting their relationship and he was not sure of it, it sounds like it wouldn't have lasted.
True.
And it sounds like, okay, it's fair to say this is getting it out of his system. But if he did this and now he's more confident in the relationship, while it's to her, she did come back to him.
I think it's one of these things that
it's tough.
You're sacrificing her security for yours. Like why do you feel, not you, but like why does he feel like him getting it out of his system to feel comfortable is worth her feeling uncomfortable? The fact that he kind of used her relationship to get it out of his system instead of talking to her. Like you're trading off that.
If the relationship would have inevitably ended.
That's what I'm saying. I think that
I
would just
this recovered it.
I think that I would tell that person, hey, I'm having second doubts. I think I'm not sure about this.
What were the first doubts?
The first doubts is not telling her. Be like, oh, I don't know about this. I think that the best way to go about this, if you have it, is to say, I'm having second doubts. I'm not sure about this. I don't know if me seeing someone else would make me feel differently, but right now I don't feel good about this. Let's take a break and then come back in a month, 6 months, whatever it is. But like, that's the only, I think you have to tell them first. That's the only way I could see that working. But him just saying, I can't do this right now, but it might work in the future.
Okay.
And then getting with someone the same week that he knows, getting with someone that he knows has a previous friendship with, that feels intentional.
Here's my actual advice suggesting on what I think this person should do. And I'm not giving this advice based on like what I would do in this situation. It's what I think is like the most neutrally like safe thing to do. I think you tell the person, hey, I'm not sure about the longevity of this relationship.
Your advice from the guy's perspective or what the girl should do now?
I think the best way to go about what he needed to do.
So advice on what he should have done.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
So I think if... I'm trying to word this in the proper way. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think what he should have done is come to her and been like, hey, I really like you, but I'm not like we've been together long enough that like we're considering marriage.
Yeah.
But I'm not fully like 100% sure that I'm ready to be like your life partner and just yours.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. I'm feeling a little bit hurt inside, but I get it.
You say, hey, like, I'm not sure if I can commit to that. Let's take a 1 to 2 month break. Mm-hmm. Like, just see how life is. And then we can decide whether we want to get back together or not. Both of us.
That sucks to hear, but I hear you and I understand.
Yeah. So it's like, it's one of those situations that like you have to take it because like, what's the other option?
That's the thing, is that it's a conversation, but it's a better conversation than did you break up just to someone and then now you realize that the grass is greener and you want to come back, crawl back. Like, you look
Yeah, but and like from her perspective, do you really want to give up a good relationship over that?
Yeah.
Is now it could be the relationship could be a little pair of tighty whities that got browned a little by a streak. But like, you know the kind that you can't wash out and you just have to get rid of the underwear.
You have to buy new ones.
Yeah, you just have a and it's permanent.
I think that's the goal here.
You have a poop streak in the relationship.
I think
now.
that him doing this,
you can't wash it out. Bleach won't take it out.
Him doing this puts a stain on their relationship.
Yeah,
that she'll never know if he did actually want to get like it out of his system, or if he genuinely thought he had reservations and he just wanted a break to think about it clearly, and he realized he liked her more. She'll never know because he never gave her that opportunity. He just did it for her, and I think that is something that you have to decide. Let's wrap this up with
it's
this.
Done. It's done.
One liner, wrap it up.
You say your part.
We think that you should get it out of your system and then ditch him.
Yeah, honestly, be like, I have a hall pass now. I'm gonna go someone, and I'm gonna see if the grass is greener.
Yeah.
And then film it and send it to his whole family. No, don't do that part. No, actually, though, if you want to find out whether the relationship's worth it for you, you go find something else.
Equal opportunity.
Yeah.
Go find out for yourself.
He took a break and thinks it's greener. See if he's greener.
Make him beg for it.
Make him beg.
All right, next story.
Okay. There's a trend, which Corey and I plan to do in our podcast soon.
Let us know if you want us to do this trend.
We listen and we don't judge. So we
listen and we don't judge.
So you share something fucked up you did to someone years ago, and they just have to silently take it.
Well, it
sounds
like,
awful.
It's a coming clean. You both ideally have equally fucked, if not like mildly rude things you've done to each other that are held secret in your heart, and you just want to clear the air. And you both have to say them and accept it and apologize and forgive. And that's how it's supposed to go.
I don't think it sounds great.
It's not supposed to be like, hey, one time I fucked your dad. It's not supposed to be like that.
Why was I thinking the same thing?
Oh my God, you okay, never mind.
Well, you quite literally can't my dad. Unless you did some Saltburn. You know, he like makes love to the grave.
Metaphorically. We'll figure it out. But no, I think it's supposed to be like, hey, one time I was wearing your underwear because mine ran out.
And I pooped in them. Anyways, we listen and we don't judge. Trend prompted. My 24 female husband is 38 male. Reveals a 2-year-long prank and she's losing trust. So my husband saw TikTok videos this week about couples saying we listen and we don't judge, then revealing something bad or funny they do behind their partner's back. He pressured me to participate because he said he had something very funny to admit, but I had to go first to justify his. When it was his turn, he told me he removed things from my computer to make it very slow and almost unusable 2 years ago. In 2022, my computer suddenly started running like garbage, and I could never figure out what was wrong. I primarily used it for school and playing online games with my siblings because I don't live close to them anymore. Now I can hardly browse the internet, let alone play games on it.
What do you remove from it?
That's what I wonder. What I'm guessing is that he probably set the dedicated graphics card to no longer work, and she was only using integrated graphics. But that wouldn't cause the whole computer to run slow.
You can't just take a part out.
You could disable it, but you'd need to know what you're doing.
You could disable it, but at least you could go back and fix it. I don't think there's a single part you can just remove and the computer will still work.
No, it can work. You can take half the RAM out.
Well, you still leave the RAM. And again, you can go and get more RAM.
Yeah, but it sounds like she doesn't know what happened. Anyways.
Yeah.
My computer suddenly started running like garbage and I could never figure out what was wrong. I primarily used it for school and playing online games with my siblings because I don't live close to them anymore. Now I can hardly browse the internet, let alone play games. I couldn't afford a new computer because I am the only one working right now.
Between her and the guy?
Yeah, she's a 24-year-old. He's 38. He told me
what in the hobgoblin is he doing?
Listen to this. He told me it would only take him a minute or two to fix whatever it is he did.
So it is probably a settings.
But he just never wanted to. When I asked him why he would do that, he said it's because I should spend all my time with him, and he didn't like that I would play games a few times a week. My feelings are very hurt right now, and I'm having a hard time believing anything he says now. How can I get my mind off this and stop distrusting him? We have been married for 6 years. Wait, that means she was 18 and he was 32.
Ew!
And I'm so stressed about what other things he might have done to manipulate me. How do people generally get over betrayals of trust like this? Oh, it's simple. He's 14 years older than you, and you're supporting him, and he thought, it'd be funny if I fucked her computer up and then never fixed it because it took a few years. What a funny prank.
This is horrifying. She's stressed about what other things he did to manipulate her. Girl, you got married at 18 when he was 32. What didn't he do to manipulate you?
And he's carrying her now. I mean, she's carrying him.
He's
that's pretty weird.
He's a slow one on the team.
And that's pretty weird to be like the significantly older one in the relationship and to not work at all.
Listen, if you're a girl and you're young and you want to go for an older guy because he's more mature, at least get the benefits. Yeah. Have him be rich.
Yeah, get a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Not a sour.
No, a lemon sack. A sad rotten lemon.
Would that mean like the nut tastes like
probably does
sour bitter poop?
It tastes like Mountain Dew and Doritos.
That probably leads to some nasty nut.
Yeah. No one wants to date an anchor, and there's nothing more of an anchor than
I've never heard this term.
An anchor?
Is it someone that just holds you down?
An anchor is literally someone that holds back. Yeah. An anchor on your team, an anchor in your relationship, an anchor in real life is something that holds down a boat.
Oh.
You've never heard of the term anchor?
No. I know what an anchor is.
You've never heard that boats have an anchor?
No, usually it's like that equivalent is like
when you drop something on a boat to hold it in the water, what did you think they drop?
Poop? No, I know what an anchor is, you toad.
I would love the idea that you've never heard the word anchor before.
What is anchor?
So, if you are an anchor, at least have some redeeming quality, like, you have potential.
Yeah, at least be like, okay, you're dating some cougar and you're a young stud who just her brains out.
At least you have value.
Or you're a sugar baby for a sugar daddy who throws money at you.
Exactly.
Buy whatever you want. You just have to suck my crummy old.
If you are a sugar baby, literally, you are a money sink. You are nothing but a drain on resources. But the guy likes you.
Write-offs.
The guy likes you.
Yeah.
So you at least have value. If you are dating an older guy, what value does he have if he has no job?
You can still love each other, but this is really.
You can't love someone who is twice your age when you are a minor. That's not love. No.
I mean, she clearly got manipulated.
Yes.
But my advice to this relationship is get the out. Get out. Get the out.
It's call Chris Hansen and have an intervention. I wonder where your family is. They said that she talks to her family through games. Do you think that the guy probably moved her across the country?
I want to read some of these comments. Extreme manipulation, not a prank. And it's disturbing behavior from a man 14 years older and who you are currently supporting.
Where do they live? Like Nebraska?
Also, she said in a comment that they waited till she was 18 to start dating, which means they were talking beforehand.
This is gross on every level. Well, the fact that they've been married for 6 years and she got married at 18. They started dating and got married immediately.
Yeah. Sounds like it. He was like, I'm locking this one down.
Yeah. That's probably why he's like, you can never have any more friends or family. You must spend all your time with me. I can't get a girl unless I entrap her. The fact that we haven't had a kid yet is surprising.
Ew, just ew, dude.
It's gross. It's gross on every level. Do not get entrapped by an anchor man with no job and no redeeming value and no wisdom.
I can't imagine putting a prank on someone.
It's not a prank.
Imagine like you can like tune an engine like to run better. Imagine you do the opposite to someone. It's like, yeah, I made your car run half as well.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
Imagine you commute to your job, and imagine my prank is I just took half your gas out every time you went for work, and you had to pull over the side of the road and ask for AT&T or whatever to come get you.
AT&T?
Yeah, that's your only recourse.
AAA?
Yeah.
AT&T is a phone company, you monkey.
The 3 letters, it started with A.
Corey calling on the phone. Sure. What do you need? Sir, can you speak English?
If you're a 3-letter acronym and it starts with A, who I'm calling when I have your car trouble. It could be AAA. It could be
Alcoholics
AT&T.
Anonymous. Can you please?
It could be A&W root beer, and that'll help.
Oh, fuck.
But no, that's not a prank. That is you are manipulating someone's life. Shitty. I hate them all.
Yeah.
All right.
Hit me with your juice.
Next story. Boyfriend M23 called me F21 a whore for skydiving. Is it toxic or true? Basically, we broke up over the summer, and after a few weeks, I went skydiving to feel and know that I could do anything. In the relationship, he had told me that he wasn't comfortable with me doing this because my butt would be pressed up on another man's genitals.
What an insecure freak.
I know that your butt is going to be pressed over against another man who knows how to pull a parachute string. Also, we're wearing 2 thick ass outfits to break the wind, but you could be having sex through it.
This man's just focusing on his girl getting reamed out midair in a 60-second fall.
You know that I could clap cheeks at like 1 mile an hour, but when you're falling to the earth at terminal velocity, that's
instant nut.
Yeah.
You just put it in and ugh.
She said, I respected this because we were dating.
Okay.
How
old are they?
23 and 21.
Okay. So little babies.
After the summer and skydiving, we got back together. I told him I did this, and I now receive texts such as, you then used this excuse to slut your body out like a whore, having a man rub his penis on you in the exact way I described. You acknowledged, and I begged for you not to. And
Yikes.
The horrible messages, him flirting with other girls I did last year doesn't even come close to you physically slutting your body out, me skydiving. So apparently this guy cheated and then turned it around and said that wasn't even nearly as bad as you skydiving, you whore. This man is insane.
This man is so insecure that he couldn't hold together 2 really light objects like a screw. That's how get it? Because a screw is secure when it's tightly screwed in. That was such a fucking awful analogy.
That would have done numbers in mechanical engineering.
This screw wasn't purchasing. You know that's a term.
I've never heard that word before.
You can actually say purchase as a way to say like something is properly secured. It's not just a financial interaction.
Purchase.
My is really purchased in your asshole. Why? Why does my brain go there every time?
I'm really purchasing my masculinity.
Huh?
I'm really secure.
Where are you buying it from?
What? Yeah.
He's a freak. Leave him.
All these are break up and leave.
Fuck the skydiving instructor. Regardless of how attractive he is.
There's so many things to go off in this. It's that this guy cheated on her emotionally or physically, probably both.
Projected.
And then said, that's not nearly as bad as skydiving. And then it's also like, why does he think she's a whore for skydiving? Probably because he thinks about skydiving with a girl and her while in the air. That's the only thing I could think of. Like, who thinks skydiving is remotely sexual?
The only thing I would be thinking about while skydiving is not dying. Screaming for my impending doom.
Yeah, I'd be like, please don't die. Please don't be one of the 1 in 100 that dies skydiving. I would not be able to get hard.
That is a freak. Yeah, a fear boner.
I don't even think so. Imagine dying and the first thing that touches the ground is your dick.
Smush.
It snaps.
Not much would be left.
You wouldn't die yet, so you'd feel the pain of it.
You live, and your penis just like explodes on impact.
For a microsecond, you feel the pain of a snap
before
you plummet into the earth.
You technically to the earth.
That's assuming that you land in like sand and it penetrates, but I think it would snap.
I don't think it would penetrate. Oh my God, this is giving me such awful visuals.
I think it would snap and rebound before you hit the ground.
If you hit terminal velocity, which is around 125 miles per hour for a human, I think, and you were hitting water, you would still snap because the surface tension would be so strong it'd be like hitting concrete.
I don't think it's like Wile E. Coyote where you make like a human-sized silhouette into the ground.
Yeah, you'd make a mini Grand Canyon of yourself. Make a ground angel.
You make a meat pie.
You make a grave, honestly.
Yeah, a dirty lasagna as they call it.
Oh, what's a dirty lasagna?
It's exactly what it sounds like.
I don't know what it sounds
It's
like.
layers of meat and sauce just smushed.
No spaghetti?
You are the spaghetti. You are spaghettified.
Oh, you're the meat pie.
You're the meat pie.
Oh.
You're lasagna.
What did we learn here? You're the meat pie.
Any sort of saucy pastry, pasta, you are that.
My relationship advice is to leave.
Always are you should leave. I don't think any.
No, I think some of them have a valid point. But
okay, honestly, here's the thing. On a scale of 1 to desperate, how are you feeling? And then decide if you want to stay.
Also, how young are you and how deep into the relationship
How manipulatable are you?
If the shorter the relationship and the younger you are, you should most likely leave. If you've been in a relationship for 20 years and something rather minute was done, regardless of how bad it was, you can probably bounce back. You just need to assess your current point, the points that came to where you'd be, and what's going forward, and then adjust.
That's
your
really
trajectory.
insightful, Nick.
Thanks, man.
I'm glad that we had this conversation.
Yeah, I was talking about poop a few seconds ago.
I know, but we all have our ups and downs.
Yeah, we bounce back.
Some more than
just
others.
like these people can. And just like you can by going to patreon.com/Nick and Corey to watch the full uncut, uncensored version before the YouTube peasants get it.
Exactly. You can have a lot of ups and downs and then ups and downs again on our Patreon.
Please like and subscribe. I'm kidding about calling you guys peasants. We really value you guys. Genuinely, you guys are awesome. So thanks for watching.